Good morning, sunshines! It is Monday, the 25th of January, 2021. My name is Heather, known as BunniPhish on Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. This is episode 5, and it's going to be a good week, right? We're going to do our best. So, I am trying to edit last week's podcast. Should have done it yesterday, did not have the energy. This morning, my editing software is fighting with me. So this one's going to go up later than I anticipated. Whatever. Episode 4, going up late. Why am I telling you in episode 5 when you'll have already seen that episode 4 is up late? Who knows? It's just a thing that podcasters talk about sometimes. So, school today, school all week. I'm a little tired, but today's exciting because one of our kiddos has a birthday and we're doing a little pizza party because when you have a very small classroom, you can do things like that. So that'll be good. And what else? Anything else? Did I tell you guys I got a raise at both jobs last week? Super exciting. So this week's plans for things, I am going to finish A Girl is a Body of Water. I have think like 50 pages left to go, and then I'm going to try to read one more book before the end of the month. My original plan was 6, but maybe I can get 4 in. I just didn't anticipate my level of busyness and tiredness at the beginning of the year when I made that plan. So it's okay. We're going to pivot. And then for crafting this week, I want to finish the second heel on my green pair of Partying It Up and Getting Down socks. I want to finish completely the Mystic Spiral socks, so I'm on that second sock tube. And then make a bunch of progress on my pink shawl. Those are the only active whips that I have right now, except for the other pink Partying It Up and Getting Down, but I'm saving that until February now. So yeah, I'm not finishing the shawl this month either. In case you missed where I talked about it last week, the ZK challenge for February is to use pink yarn. They have yet to specify as of this moment, when I'm recording, how much of the project has to be pink, and those projects are both 50% pink, so I'm holding them just in case, which means I will probably start another project. I thought that I was going to start a hat yesterday, but I didn't. But I might start one today so that I have an easy pick up and go project to take to work should I be able to knit at work. Last week, rather, I wasn't able to, but we'll see this week. Who knows? Hello, sunshines. It is Wednesday in the evening time. It is 5:20 in the PM. And this week at the shop, we changed shop opening hours to be noon to 7 instead of 11 to 6 so that I could stay 1 hour longer at the school, because that just helps with the flow of my classroom. So anyway, I'm here and I've done the cleaning in the shop today, and it has been so slow. My sister came in and bought some things, and then one other person came in and bought a crochet hook. So I've been here for a while. Did a lot of cleaning, and I also finished some things. So I figured, I forgot to grab one. That's okay, I'll pause when I get there. I figured I would show you the things that I've done in this setting instead of using my front-facing camera. So I guess this week's going to be a little bit hodgepodge of how I record. So first up is actually the last thing that I finished. I made a little yarn cozy out of the yarn that's inside the cozy, which is from Earth Yarns. It is unique cotton. So this is really fun because Earth Yarns have these self-striping yarns, but they change colors in chunks. Maybe I'll put up a couple colorways on screen so you can see them. And my camera doesn't want to focus now. Oh well. You gonna focus? There we go. Okay, so yeah, I made this yarn cozy because we are testing 4 bases from Earth Yarns to see if we want to carry them. I've tested the others. I made the kerchief out of a fingering weight cotton, the hat out of a DK weight merino. This is a DK weight cotton, and then there's a fingering weight sock yarn, merino nylon blend. So that was fun. That was, it was exciting to make a few little projects this week. I tested the sock yarn in a blanket square, so put in a picture of that here so that you can see it. I think I did that maybe Monday night. I don't remember. But there you go. I have that square. I'm gonna go get the thing that, or not that square. I have that cozy that I'm going to leave at the shop for display because I just made it to make it. Let me go get that square that I forgot to grab. I'm feeling a little joy, a little smugness too, if I'm honest. I just posted I know I said in last week's episode that I posted on Monday morning, I think, that, or Monday evening, I don't know, at some point, does time really exist right now? At some point, I said that I was posting to Instagram about the sock test knit, but I just did it right now because that's when I did it this week. And there's already some interest, which is really lovely. And I am excited for the high instep heel. I am also feeling a little smug because I finished 2 blanket squares so far this week. It's only Wednesday. I don't know if I showed you this one on Saturday, Sunday. I think it was started then, but maybe not. Oh, I did show it to you a little bit on Sunday because I worked on it at my mom's house. Well, I finished it Monday and then I blocked it. So this yarn is Plymouth Encore Stars, maybe. So this is the, you know what? I don't know what this is called. I'll put it up here somewhere. What it's called, braided cables, maybe. That's what my brain says, but I don't know. I could be making that up. And I blocked mine kind of aggressively. Oh yeah, I was talking about the yarn, which is a wool acrylic blend, mostly acrylic, just a little bit of wool. So I used the steamer to block this, which adds heat, which kills the acrylic. That's what it's called when you block acrylic with heat, with the intent that the acrylic will hold that shape, because you can't block acrylic just by wet blocking acrylic. Like, you can't put it in a vat of water and then stretch it out and expect it to retain that shape forever. Not that you can expect wool to hold shape forever, but wool holds shape longer than acrylic. So, but you add some heat to it and it stays that way. So now it's a 12-inch square and it is reversible. So that's really fun. And then I also made this. This is Tapestry Crochet Hearts, I think the square is called. Tapestry Crochet Hearts. Or it'll be up there on the screen. And this is the first time I've done tapestry crochet, so that's really cool. I've seen it done before. And so what tapestry crochet does is, can you see the red yarn in the white yarn right here? So what you do is you carry you can see I made a mistake somewhere. Oh, right here. I didn't carry that in the stitch. it kind of came in front of the stitch, which, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. You carry both colors of yarn along and you crochet with the color that you want to show, and you carry the other color in the middle of the stitches. So that was really fun. I've seen a lot of patterns with tapestry crochet. I've just never made them before, but it was a square on the blanket, so I decided it was time. But since I'm submitting the whole blanket for the ZK in one go, I don't know for sure that this is a rule where you can't. I want to submit the whole thing, all the yarn, all the border, everything. So I'm not submitting single squares. I know back earlier in January and even last week I was like, oh, and I can submit squares for points, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing that. I changed my mind. So I made that same square out of dishcloth cotton in and a smaller hook, because this is made on, I used a size L hook. The pattern calls for a size M for worsted weight yarn. Size, is that 3 or 4? I'll put it right there. So that's really, really airy. And can you see how airy that is? I don't know if you can see, but it's really airy. And I didn't want to make a dishcloth with holes that big, so this is with a size I hook, so considerably smaller, because I just wanted to practice the technique and also get points for the ZK. So this is already submitted, and I'm going to put it away for Christmas and give it to my mom probably. Yeah, those are all the things that I finished in the past few days, other than the first green sock, and I'm hoping that I'll get the second green sock. We still don't have customers, so how about I show you my works in progress? I know you were waiting with bated breath to know what the ruling was on pink and red projects for the ZK. Officially, they said it just has to have like an accent of pink. So my 2 pink projects are totally being saved for next week for finishing. Maybe on Monday. Probably not though, because it's a school day. But I'm not going to finish them before the end of the month. So anyway, here is that second Mystic Spiral sock. I did knit all of the plain part at school on Monday and Tuesday. I think I did 4 stripes on Monday and 4 stripes yesterday. And then I just barely started, I don't know if you can see the short rows, the next spiral section. So I think, yeah, I am going to get through the spiral section. Hopefully I'll get through this whole section up here tonight. There's short row section, a small bias section, and then another short row section. And then I will be able to finish this sock at school tomorrow, because it will be 1 stripe. I don't have the first sock with me. It'll be 1 stripe of plain knitting, and then 1 stripe of ribbing, and then the next stripe is the color that I bind off in. I think that's how I did the first one. We'll see if I'm right. You'll know before I do right now. So let's see. That's the only project in that bag. And then I don't know that I've worked on this at all. I haven't moved to the marker, so probably not. Okay. So I'm going to move this marker because I'm pretty sure that's definitely where it was last week. I did not work on this on Monday night. Like I said, I probably would, because I was working on that square instead. And then it was just easier to pick up a sock to work on after I finished that square. The cable square is what I finished on Monday. Finished the heart square today. So do I have another project in the bottom of the bag? Nope, just this one. I'm not motivated to work on the shawl right now, because I'm not finishing it until February. I still have a long way to go. I could, you know, push through and get really close to the end, but I'm just not feeling the motivation right now. It's fine. It'll get done in February. I am planning to cast on another project. I'll be right back. So I mentioned my sister visited the yarn shop today, and she saw this market bag, and she was like, oh, that's really cute. Is that hard to make? And I said, no. And she said, will you make it for me? Fine. Yes, I'll make it for you. So I'm going to be making her this. This is a machine knit bag, but I've reverse engineered it, and I am going to make it. But I might make it, I'm trying to decide if I want to make it lacier here or if I just want to do stockinette forever. Probably just stockinette forever because she likes this bag in particular. So she asked if we had this yarn, and I said, no, we do not have this yarn, which is why it wasn't on display out here. It happened to be sitting back where we were chatting as I was working. But we did find this, which is similar in color. So it's got pink and green, yellow, green-y yellow, and purple. So I am going to hold these two balls together. I don't know how much yardage this takes. I said she would probably need two, so I'm going to hold two together and knit this. And it's going to be really boring because it's just stockinette. There's no increasing or decreasing. It's just basically a rectangle that then you pick up some stitches along the side to give it some structure, and there's no decreasing there even. I'll probably do some decreasing there, and an I-cord, which I'm not going to knit the I-cord. I will absolutely crochet the I-cord. So yeah, I'm going to start that soon. Definitely for February because it's got that pink in there. So that's one February start planned. I don't really have another February start planned. I am going to pull the yarns from that I showed you on last week's episode, the picture. I am going to pull those and bring them to the shop on Saturday and wind them and try to make a plan for who is going to get what, because I'm not great at making things just to make things. I like having a recipient in mind. It's not always the case, but generally speaking, I prefer that. All right, friends. I will see you in a couple seconds. For me, who knows how long. Good morning, sunshines. It is Thursday the 28th, and it is before school. But I wanted to check in because yesterday I said that my plan was to get through this part of the sock. I didn't do it last night. I started and I got to maybe here, so in the bias section. So this morning I finished the bias section and finished the short row section, so I'm back to working in the round. So for comparison, all I have left is one stripe in stockinette and then one stripe in 1x1 rib. Once I get to that point, I'll be switching out projects because this last color is one round where I'm setting up for a sewn bind off and then a sewn bind off. So once I get to that point at school, I have a hat that that I used a tubular cast on for. It's the first time I've done a tubular cast on, and as you can see in the video, I accidentally dropped some stitches off of my needle and had to fix it, but it was really, the first time I put the needles back on, I put them on twisted, so then I had to, I twisted my cast on, so I had to re-put them on, but it was pretty simple. I figured it out, and that's what's waiting for me at school. I should be able to finish that hat by the end of Sunday because it's just going to be a turn a square. So it's super simple. And I did cast on my sister's market bag last night. And as you can see, these yarns matched up perfectly. So I'm using 2 strands of yarn. Plymouth Yarns Andy's socks. So they just happened to be, when I pulled out the yarn from the center of the ball, they started in almost the exact same space. I think one yarn was like 6 inches longer than the other. So this will stripe up in these little micro stripes, which is really cool because I didn't know what this yarn was going to look like. But if you made socks, they would be micro stripes. I cast on 40 stitches. My original goal was to do 42 stitches, but I did Judy's Magic Cast On for a provisional cast on, starting at a change in stripes, and so I ran out at 40 stitches. So good enough. Good morning, sunshines. It is Saturday, and this is what the back area of work looks like. I am here about a half hour before my shift starts because I have some stuff to get done. Stuff that I want to get done. And I've laid out my stuff all on the table right in front of me right here. I suppose I should start off by saying I don't intend to get through all of my task list in the next 30 minutes. I just intend to make some decisions, and I have things from most important to least important, or most priority to least priority, because they're all important to me. But, you know, timeline-wise, I have things. So I have my work computer and my home computer to do my design work today because all of my information is on my home computer, but I need my work computer software for formatting. So I'm hoping to get that done today. This t-shirt is just a shirt that, I'm sorry if this is really echoey, I just noticed, like, to myself it's echoey. This is one of Mara's old t-shirts. We just have naked mannequins, and my boss asked if Mara had any old t-shirts that I could bring in to go under them. I think this one has a hole in it, which is why it's not in rotation, but under a shawl it won't matter. Anyway, for that pattern I want to do a photo tutorial for how to cut in an afterthought heel. So I'm going to do that on this sock. I've already done the heel on the other. So that is on the list. These things just need to be photographed and weighed so I can put them into the ZK forum. This also. And I just grabbed all of my pink yarns. Not all of them. I think there were a couple other things that had like enough pink that they would have counted for, or red, pink or red for February's make along, but I had analysis paralysis at home, so I just grabbed them all to bring them here. Also, I don't have great lighting anywhere in my house in wintertime, so I brought them into the shop where I have better lighting so that I can look at them and make a decision of about somewhere between 6 and 8 projects that I want to work on next month. So I'll be making that decision, and I'll be winding whatever yarn I decide I want to use. I'm definitely going to spin. I'm definitely going to have this as a back burner project for working on at school, because it'll just be another hat that I will donate to the kids at school. So super simple. like this hat. I did from here to here at school yesterday, and I would have finished the hat at school, except I ran out of yarn. So didn't have any, couldn't do it. And then over here, I have my current whips and finished socks, so that should I get time to record a little snippet sitting down in front of the camera to talk about projects, I can do that. Look at this. I started another hat last night because I just couldn't stop myself, but I'd like to sit down and record that bit with you. So this part is not priority. And this is a package that I have had since sometime in December, and it's got cute Notions bags, and I want to do a giveaway, but I have to record about them, and I haven't. This has literally come with me to work every day since mid-December, and I just haven't gotten my act together. Maybe today will be the day, maybe next week, who knows. Hello, sunshines. It is almost an hour and a half into my shift, and I am well underway. I've done a whole bunch of cleaning around the shop. I have figured out what yarn I'm going to use next month for sure, and what are my backup plan yarns. I've wound one of those so far. I did my photo tutorial. I still have to finish the heel on that sock, but photo tutorial is done. And now I've sold a gift card. So I am going to show you really quick what I've been working on. I'm not going to record anything tomorrow. I'm going to take tomorrow off. So yeah, any progress I make tomorrow you won't see, but I'm planning on mostly just working on scrappy projects or finishing up. No, probably just scrappy projects. No finishing up anything, because this sock should be done today. So here's my sock. I'll put up a picture right here of it finished, because it will be at some point today before I edit. All I have to do is put in my high instep afterthought heel, which pattern is going out to testers before you see this. I'm super excited. Hopefully everybody likes the way it fits. I like the way it fits. And here's the first sock. So you can kind of see. Oh yeah, you can see. Okay, so this is where the heel starts for the foot, but then this is the heel section for the back of the foot. So it just creates more depth this way than this way, which gives a better instep fit for me, hopefully also for other people. This yarn is 716 knit, 716 sock. Did I bring the business card over? No, I had it this morning. It's probably sitting over there with the rest of my stuff. Put a picture in with the colorway. And I am super excited to have these finished. I also finished, you probably saw on, well, you would have seen on the previous video, I finished my personal parting it up and getting down socks. The other one is in the other shoe. Do you want to see it? I'll show you. I have two. They have heels. They're finished. The yarn is Little Bay Blue in green charcoal stripe colorway. So that pattern, parting it up and getting down, is by Megan Williams. The heel is my high instep afterthought heel. Oh, these socks, this pattern is from Josh Ricks. It's called Mystic Spiral. I have this pair of partying it up and getting down socks yet to finish, but I'm not going to finish it until Monday. All I need to do is the second afterthought heel, but if I save it until Monday, then I get extra bonus points for the ZK knit along. So I'm saving that. I finished a hat, which you just saw. That was using the pattern Turn a Square by Jared Flood, and I did the recommended cast on, which is a tubular cast on. And I know I've already talked about that this week, so I'm not going to go into depth, but I don't think I'll use it again, generally speaking, because while it does create a really lovely brim, it also takes a long time to get through those setup rows. It starts flat. So it probably took me like a half hour just to get through the setup before I even started working on the hat. I'd rather take 3 minutes to cast on the edge and just go and have it be slightly less fancy. Personal opinion. But I could see how having something that looks that professionally finished could be appealing. It's just not. I'm not obsessed with it. I think, especially for 1x1, casting on with a crochet hook gives just as nice of an edging. This is cast on with a crochet hook, actually. And the edging is really lovely. This hat is Filigree by Woolly Wormhead, and I knit it out of Dream in Color Smooshie. This sweater is a commercial sweater, but I could make something similar to this, and when this sweater dies, I probably will, because I'm really enjoying the fit of it and the overall look of it. Even though I don't love knitting garter stitch, I would do it for this sweater. So what else do I have? I have this shawl, which I have done a handful of rows. I'll be right back. And now I've just had someone sign up for a class, so that's exciting. The shawl. I was talking about the shawl. The Aria shawl by Amba O'Brien, knit out of Berroco, Providence. I've made a handful of rows in the past few days. I didn't knit that on this at either class, so when I'm not working on my scrappy projects tomorrow, I'm going to work on this because I just want this to be done. My stitch count is not very big per row right now, only about 60, so it's going pretty quick. I just need to actually pick it up and work on it if I'm going to finish it. I started another square for the blanket. This one is called Lotus Blossom by Robin Chachula. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry. But it's just a really lovely, lacy, patterny square, and I'm really, really liking it. I did have a few false starts with this because I was working on this in a class and I just wasn't reading well. So I had to pull out the first, well, not the first row because that's just single crochets, but the second and third rows, I had to start both of those like 3 times. Whatever. So this will be my next finished square and it's going to be super pretty. And then I have 2 other things that I've started since Wednesday when I talked to you. I started my sister's market bag. I'm using Andy's socks from Plymouth Yarns. It's got wool. It's fine superwash merino, 55%, 20% FS alpaca. I don't know what that means. FS? Let me know down below. And 25% nylon. So I did the casing, which was 10 rows on a US size 3. Did I say I'm holding these 2 strands together? So it's 2 strands of fingering weight held together. I did the casing on a size 3, and then I went up to a size 7 for 20 rows, and now I'm on a size 10.75, and I'm going to do 10 inches rather. And then I will reverse on the other side. So it'll be 20 rows on size 7s and a 10 row casing on size 3s. And then an I-cord, because this reminder is the bag that I am attempting to replicate. I don't have a pattern, but I took some measurements and I counted. I'm 2 stitches short. So I talked about this, didn't I? Oh well. This is 42 stitches across and I only have 40, so it'll be a little bit different, but my sister won't know, and if she doesn't like it, she can make her own market bag. And then the last thing that I started is this hat. I started it because I looked at my white acrylic that I had sitting out, and it was not actually white, it was a cream, and I wanted to finish that hat, the turn a square hat. But I had this project that I started a while ago, ever ago. I was inspired by Kendra of, what is her podcast name? I'll put it on the screen right there. She hasn't put out an episode in a while. She did put out one in the past few months, but before that it had been a while. So I can't think of it. But she did a couple projects. She did shawls she did reading shawls. So what she did was she did a color of yarn for a book category, and then stitch patterns or rows of stitch patterns for what she gave the book stars out of 5. And I thought that was a really cool idea, but I decided that I would make granny squares that were 5 round granny squares. So the colored section would designate the type of book, and the number of rounds of that color section would be my star rating. So this book only got 2 stars. I don't know what it was. I don't remember what this purpley color designates even. I don't know, because I only made like 7 squares and then set the project aside and it got abandoned. So whatever. That's obviously not going to be a project that comes to fruition. So I saw the white and I liked it, and I ripped out one square, the white on one square, and then the white on a second square to finish the hat. And so I had these little center parts. So I just grabbed another square and held the yarn together with the white and the center color from squares. So there's a lot more white on the first few squares than colorful sections. So I found the little remnant of yarn that I had been putting into squares. And so I'm knitting that in right now. So I have from one square, from a second square, and now this little remnant going into this hat. And this again will just be a hat that's going to go to small humans at school. But since it has pink in it, I'm not finishing it until until the first or after. So probably the first. But yeah, that way that random blanket project isn't just sitting around, and the hat will be useful for kids at school, because there's so many kids at school who forget their hats or lose their hats or whatever. So making a stockpile at school. The pattern I'm going to make out of this is the stripeless signature hat, my design. And I am holding together two strands of worsted, or kind of like a worsted and a DK, and I want it to be super dense, so I'm knitting it on size 8 needles. I'm a loose knitter, so that's not as tight as it sounds, but you know, I want little small humans' ears to actually stay warm in hats. Like, I love my fingering weight hat, but it's not a warmth hat. This is not the hat that I wear when I am going to be standing outside for any length of time. So since small humans go outside for 15 minutes of recess whenever the feels like temperature is 20 degrees or warmer, I want them to have warm ears. So yeah, that's all the stuff I'm working on right now. So I am reading things. I finished A Girl is a Body of Water, which is so good. Definitely go pick it up. Love it. And then I also picked up again Year of the Flood, and I read probably 50 pages this morning before work. So I have less than 200 pages to go, so I think I can finish that by the end of the month, because again, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I mean, I am going to my mom's for dinner, but I think that I can finish the book between tonight and tomorrow.
And that will take me to 4 books finished, which I think is a really good amount considering like how busy my life is right now. So for my February reading goal, I'm going to not give myself 6 books. I'm going to give myself 5 books because I did 4 this month, and I like to have a stretch goal always. I like to have too much going on, right? So the 2 books that I didn't finish this month will be on February's list. One of them I've already started, one I haven't. And then I have a couple other books to read during February too. They are on hold at the library right now. I'm super excited. I am going to go pick them up on Monday because the library right now it's operating in pickup only mode, but on Monday it opens for grab and go services, which means I can actually walk into the library and pick up stuff. And while I super appreciate that they do curbside pickup right now, I really miss just walking into the library, even though I'm literally going to walk 20 feet in the door to go to the holds shelf and grab my things and walk out. I just miss going into the library. So I'm excited for that. All right, friends, I hope you had a really good week. And if you didn't have a really good week, I hope the coming one is better. I had a pretty good week, even though my children, all of them, personal and students, were just a little bit bonkers. But it's okay. I will see you in about a week. Bye.